Live from San Diego, it's the David Spoon Experience on K-Praise, 1210 a.m. KPRZ.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Welcome back to the David Spoon Experience, local, national, and heavenly talk. Thank you for joining us here at KPRZ, 1210 a.m. in San Diego, California. All right, we're going to be doing something we've never done before. So I want to make sure that the guests that we have, that their headsets aren't too loud. Is it too loud or is it okay? You guys all right?
Sounds perfect.
Sounds perfect for you, loud or what?
It's okay, yeah.
Okay, it's okay, yeah. Okay. All right, you don't know who we got in here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Comfort Cub is a company that I was introduced to 5 weeks ago? Maybe 5 weeks ago. Marcella Johnson is the owner, founder. Susan Heck, a partner with her. And the two of them together are on a mission to help people who are of broken heart and have had experienced significant loss to have a sense of comfort. And how it started, there's a great story. So I'm going to actually let Marcella tell that story. But I'm going to tell you what they have. I'm going to kind of describe it to you, and we're going to kind of hit a couple of contact points. But first of all, ladies, so that you can both breathe easier, you can say hello. Go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
There. See? Now you're done. You're already done radio. It's not that hard. See? I told you. All right. A couple of things to tell you that you need to know, people need to know. TheComfortCub.com is the website. Now, why that's important is because a product like this is probably a good idea if you don't get a chance to meet with them personally to check it out on the website, get a feel, get an understanding for what's going on. And this, I'm telling you, this backstory, one of the reasons they're on the air right now is because of how cool this backstory is. That's number one. Number two, to reach them by phone, 888-595-6671. That's 888-595-6671. I will tell you now ahead of time, because of what they do in the ministry they're in and the work that they're trying to do, that if you have a hard time getting a hold of them, just email me, davidspoon@kprz.com, and I will get the information forwarded to them that they can respond to you in. Okay? So you don't have to I can't remember all that. Relax. Take a deep breath. All right. Now, in my studio, there's three of them, and we're going to be giving some of these away. Ooh, aren't you sneaky? Yes. The Comfort Cub, and it is a bear, and it's not just a regular teddy bear. This is a therapeutic, weighted, does a really good job when you put it on your shoulder and you put your arms around it, and it makes you feel like you're holding somebody kind of bear, which is like a long way to say, somebody came up with a really good idea to bring comfort to people who are hurting. That's really what it is in a nutshell. So let's start with Marcella. We're just going to start with the story and just kind of get a feel so people can understand, and then just talk about it. So Marcella, go ahead and share how you came to create
The Comfort Cub.
The Comfort Cub.
Okay, so when I was 6 months pregnant, unfortunately, I found out that my baby had a life-limiting disease, and he died the same day he was born. And along with that obvious emotional pain that I felt, I got some surprising physical symptoms. My heart hurt and my arms ached, and I didn't know why. But I went to the gravesite with my dad, and somebody had sent this wonderful terracotta pot. And my dad said to me, hey, you should bring this home. And I put that weight into my arms, and I held the pot, and immediately that aching in my heart and in my arms went away. And I didn't know why it was, but I was like, this is really comforting. And I found myself not wanting to put that pot down. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've gone crazy here. But then I read in lots of books about women who lose children that they also had that sensation. And when they found a weighted object, and they were finding really strange things to hold, like a 5-pound sack of flour or pillows. And the thing that just broke my heart was I read about a woman who found a pineapple about the size of her baby, and she wrapped it in a blanket and carried it with her.
Wow.
And that sounds really kind of kooky, and and it's hard to understand if you haven't been there, but someone who's had a significant loss and they are just desperate, I totally understood that. And I thought, you know what? We need to do something for these women that's more dignified. And so I felt inspired to create, you can't give someone a terracotta pot because that would be silly. But so I had this idea to create this weighted therapeutic teddy bear. And so I just started out. I used to make these by hand, and I brought them to San Diego Hospice where I had gotten help. And I was originally getting the weight of them through split peas, and it was back in the days of when the Beanie Babies were really.
So you took split peas and kind of put them inside?
Yep,
is that
inside the back of the bear,
Wow.
and just stuffed them and did all different kinds of weights. And we came to a weight that is a general weight of feeling like a baby. Like when you hold that in your arms, it felt like a baby, right?
Correct.
And there's something visceral about that is extremely comforting to men and women, not just to women. But yeah, so I used to make them by hand, and I used to handwrite every letter. And now that was 15 years ago, and it slowly grew. And now they're at every single hospital in San Diego.
Wow. I mean, it's an excellent story. I mean, it's a great God thing, because it's really kind of cool how the Lord does different things that he does. So let me just give you a couple of things so people can know. First of all, it's the cutest little teddy bear. Okay. Now I'm a ruffian. So for me to tell you it's a cute teddy bear, the guy that eats and breathes hockey and football, you should be like going, oh my, that must be cute. That's what I do. It's so cute. Second of all, it's weighted. And when we say weighted, is there a specific weight that you designed to then?
Yes. Well, okay, so my baby weighed about 6 pounds, but if you put 6 pounds into unsupported weight, it feels more like 12 pounds. It really does.
Really?
So this is meant to feel like it's 5 or 6 pounds, but it's actually closer to about 3 or 4 pounds. And so it's just a weight that it's not too heavy so that an older person couldn't pick it up or anything, or a little person, a child couldn't pick it up. It's just a really good weight. So it just feels substantial in your arms, and it gives you something to hold on to.
I'll tell you one of the differences. When I first met the ladies here, and we were in the office, we were in Matt's office, and we were talking, and I picked up the bear and I put it on my shoulder. I will tell you that it said, look, I'm a regular human being. I've had a teddy bear or two. Thank you very much. And it's so substantially different because it's weighted. I will say that is, I mean, it was remarkable when I first, put it on my shoulder. I was like, wow, that like really feels like almost like you're holding an entity. And the idea here, folks, is not to try and bypass anything that the Lord's working in somebody's life, or the idea is not to do some weird thing. This is a comfort cub. That's what it is. That's all. It's supposed to bring comfort. It's supposed to be something dignified to hold on to bring some comfort from significant loss. And if you're not aware of the power of a hug, I got one for you. Go 6 months without a hug, and then get a hug and tell me how it feels.
Right.
Because that'll tell you everything you got to know. Because when your spouse or when your parents or your siblings, when your children give you a hug, I mean, even when your dog comes up to you and kind of grabs you or whatever, it's very loving. It's very supporting. This is designed with that in mind. All right. So Susan X, a partner, kind of like the national sales directory kind of thing without using that as a selly term. How did you come across Marcella in this process? How did you guys hook up?
Well, Marcella and I have been great friends since high school.
Okay, long time. Right?
Long time.
5 years. 5 years. 6 years.
Right.
6 years.
Yeah. And we have been in this since the get-go. And I went with her to stuff these bears 15 plus years ago. And I was at the beginning of this whole process. And it wasn't until about a year ago that I came on board with her to try and see if we could make a go of this and get these in as many arms as possible.
Yeah. Now here's what I want to tell the audience. This is the first time they've done an interview on the show, but I'm gonna work with them. I mean, Matt's gonna work with them, but I'm gonna work with Matt to work with them. We're gonna keep them on. This is gonna become a kind of a staple in the show, because this is a good idea. And why that's a good idea is because when people are hurting, and I know hundreds of people that are hurting, something that brings comfort is just an outstanding gift. And this is not like costing thousands of dollars to bring that sense of comfort. And that's one of the real stories here, is that if you know somebody, and that's the thing right here. Here's where the agency of the kingdom takes place right here. If you know somebody, or you know somebody that knows somebody in your sphere of influence, in your circle of life, in the group that you run with, in the church that you go to, in the people that have, if there's a person that has really had a loss, and now you're thinking, oh, well, you're just talking moms who've lost babies kind of thing. No. You're talking about anybody that's had a loss, because a hug at any downtime is a good time to have a hug.
Right.
I mean, would that be accurate?
Yeah.
So you are in the audience, you become the agents to help create this. It's not difficult to understand. thecomfortcub.com. Now, being that we're going to do many interviews in the future, I will eventually say that name wrong, just so you can feel good about it. Not
Okay, that's okay.
To make you, but it's thecomfortcub.com. That's the website. Here's what you do. You can go to the website, which I really encourage, or you can call 888-595-6671. That's 888-595-6671. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. I'd like to talk to the girls more, a little bit about the Comfort Cub. And then they've brought a couple of cubs. And after their segment, we're going to give them away. And after you hear me teach something I'm going to teach at the bottom of the hour, you're going to need one. You're listening to the David Spoon Experience right here on KPRZ, 1210 a.m. in San Diego, California. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the David Spoon Experience, local, national, and heavenly talk. Thank you for joining us here at KPRZ, 1210 a.m. in San Diego, California. Wow, we're hanging out with the Comfort Cub. Oh, yeah, the ladies that are behind it. We should probably bring them into it, too, because I got the cub right here.
That's right.
He's right sitting on the desk. Right, he actually sits up by himself. Which is really kind of cool. And I think it's cool because I think when people get them, they probably name them or they probably make some kind of identity. And it's such a cute little. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a cute teddy bear, but it's a therapeutic teddy bear, which means it's a blessing to somebody who needs to be able to hug something with dignity. I think the idea that lady was walking around with a pineapple wrapped around in something to make it seem like a baby is kind of all you need to know about this. Yeah. So this is for people who have had a significant loss. Let me just make sure you understand. Marcella Johnson, the founder, Susan Heck, who's a partner and kind of the national director of sales, kind of working together. There's two major points here. Thecomfortcub.com. That's the website. So let's make sure we get that. Thecomfortcub.com. I don't really care. Comfort, I think you can all figure that out. Cub, C-U-B. So thecomfortcub.com. 888-595-6671. What I want Marcella to mention now, which we talked about off the air, is why. I mean, this is a wonderful product. It's therapeutic. It administers. By the way, let me just quickly read the mission statement. The mission of the Comfort Cub is to help bring comfort to anyone in the world experiencing a broken heart as a result of a significant loss in their life. Okay, who doesn't support that, right? I mean, come on. But I want you to tell people why you're on the show.
Right. Okay.
Go.
The reason that we're here right now and trying to get the word out is that we're in a little bit of a desperate situation, that this is a wonderful program that the San Diego community has enjoyed for 15 years. And for the first 10 years, my husband and I, with the money that we would have used on our child, diapers, formula, birthday parties, we put that towards the Comfort Cub Fund, and we funded all the hospitals in San Diego. We made sure that every woman who lost a child in San Diego for that first 10 years never had to go without or leave the hospital empty-handed. And then about 4 years ago, when the economy changed, that just wasn't possible anymore. So San Diego Hospice picked up the ball and ran with it. They saw value in this program. But unfortunately, San Diego Hospice went out of business last year, and my program it has lost its funding. And the hospitals were still asking us for the bears. People were asking us for the bears, and we just simply couldn't provide them. And so it was suggested to us that we sell the bears, and with the money that we make, then we can provide them for free for women in San Diego who have lost their child. And so that's what Susan and I are doing now. And it is extremely uncomfortable for us because this is a ministry for us, and we wish that we could just give them away for free. But the economic reality is that we can't. So it's very hard for us to even say that we're selling them because we've never done that before, but that's just the truth. That's what we need to do. And so we're just getting out there. We're doing our best because if we can't sell these and we can't make this fly, this wonderful service to the San Diego community. And when I was with hospice, we had a Comfort Cub hotline, and anyone in the United States who had lost a child could call in. So it's actually a national program, could call in and we would send them a Comfort Cub for free.
Wow. Now you just to make sure, and we're going to switch over in just a second to Susan, but you actually have communicated to our community. That's a pretty weird way to say that. Is there's been 6,000 Comfort Cubs that have gone out to the community, isn't there?
Yes.
For free. Yep.
For free. I mean, that's an amazing element. How much are the Cubs? I mean, you got to. What are we talking?
Well,
price?
we didn't. We've been told that we could sell them for up to $65, $75, and there's other bears out there that do that. But we really wanted to make something that was affordable and but not too expensive, but enough that we could make enough money to pay for the extra bears.
Sure.
And they're $39.95.
So for $39.95, a person can get a Comfort Cub.
That's right.
And they can have that Comfort Cub. And if they want, they can either get it for themselves or buy it for somebody as a gift.
That's right. That's right.
And all they would have to do is go to thecomfortcub.com.
Right. And the thing that we're trying to get across is that might sound high for a teddy bear, but this isn't just a plush teddy bear that you can get anywhere. This is a therapeutic teddy bear. And to think about it, when someone passes away, people often send flowers. Now, if you send flowers, sometimes the minimum order is a minimum of $45 plus a $12 delivery charge. So this is totally in keeping with that. In fact, less than that. And it's something that you can keep as a memento, and it has a therapeutic quality to it.
Yeah, that's really good. Well said. Nice job. Okay, Susan, talk to me about what you got right there.
Well, what I wanted to address is that not only is this a cuddly, comforting bear, but there's actually scientific proof behind it that it actually does decrease the level of stress and provides profound relief to those experiencing these type of symptoms. And the medical definition is Takotsubo syndrome, and it's also known as broken-hearted syndrome. And your body actually has these physical manifestations of grief where your arms can ache and your heart can hurt. And a study done by San Diego Hospice took 100 people, and they looked at how the Comfort Cub helped these people. And they showed that there was a profound relief of these distressing symptoms that went along with their grief.
Wow. And that's from taking the cub and holding it against their chest. And then it creates a therapeutic response from the body.
Exactly.
So the body's literally physiologically reacting with the Comfort Cub in a person's grasp.
Yes.
That's really very, very cool. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't think that's cool. Look, the part that's hard in this is for the ladies, it's hard for them to sell. Okay? That's okay. And the other part that's hard is to understand that this usually deals with some kind of connection to grief. So that's the other part. Those are the parts that are hard. But the reality is our position, our job, our calling from the Father to minister to people next to us and all around us. And I'm not just talking about immediate family. I'm talking about the family that God has put in you, your entire sphere of existence. It's our calling to love on them. And this is just a great opportunity. It's not the only opportunity, but this is a unique opportunity. And I love the idea of putting comfort in somebody's arms. It's just a very cool process. Now, I've been through, a lot of people know who's listen to the show, I've been through numerous, way too many deaths of people and losses way beyond the norm for somebody who's not been in direct military combat. I've just, those people I think are at the far end. But it's very, very emotionally, physically, and psychologically debilitating is not the word I really want to use. It's really a reduction of the power to live in many capacities. It just makes you feel like, oh my goodness. And it's almost like feeling like somebody knocked the wind out of you and they keep doing it. And you just keep feeling that way.
Right.
So this is a therapeutic bear that helps people deal with that. It's like, okay, got it. No, got it. Instead of flowers, send a bear. There you go. That's a good slogan. You should write that down. Instead of flowers, send a bear.
Use that as our tagline. Yeah,
That's the other one. Just as a tagline. All right, why don't we close out and have Marcella read the note that's attached to the bear. Then we'll give the contact for people once again.
Okay. So this is the bear for a general loss for anyone. If you've lost a friend, if you've lost a spouse, if you know someone who's lost their husband or a father or anything like that. So it says, Dear friend, I created this therapeutic teddy bear after a great loss in my life to help others who are also in need of comfort. Someone who cares for you has given you this bear. Our hope is that in some small way, it brings a little bit of comfort to your arms. With love, Marcella. And it's in my handwriting, and it's meant to be very personal. It is meant to be from one person who understands grief to another. And we know that a bear can never replace the loss of a loved one. We understand that completely. And you were talking about the father's work that we're trying to do. And for me, I feel like this is a gesture of love at a time when someone desperately needs it. And the other thing that I think people will respond to is that when you're in your depth of your sadness, it is nice to know that somebody has reached out to you. But not only that, with every purchase of the bear, you would know that someone helping you through the grief of your husband or something like that, that in that process, you are helping a mother who has lost a child to get this comfort cub. Because with every purchase, we make sure that a woman who loses a child gets this bear, and that's a wonderful thing.
So every time somebody buys one, you're able to duplicate that process and send it to somebody who can't buy one.
That's right.
So people need to understand. It's not buy one, get one free. It's buy one and give one to somebody who needs it.
That's right.
Just really how it should be looked at. Here's the thing. Thecomfortcub.com. That is the website. Thecomfortcub.com. 888-595-6671. 888-595-6671. Here's what I want you to do. This is an intro for a lot of people in the audience, and we all know how this works. We've been doing this for a while. Takes you a while to process. We get it, and it might take a little bit. But we ask you to be a little speedier because Marcella and Susan are on a little bit of a time frame here that they need to get things going. So if you're going to send somebody flowers, send them a bear. If you know this will minister to somebody, contact them. If you can't get a hold of anybody, send me an email. I'll direct it. Send it to davidspoon@kprz.com and do something really cool for somebody and speak a little comfort into their lives by purchasing a bear and putting it in their arms. You can't beat that, folks. Come on. That's simple stuff. We can do that kind of stuff, and that's the stuff we should do.